finally, I got my hands on a female AEW wrestling figure. And it's the first ever AEW Women's Champion for today I have from Jazwares / Wicked Cool Toys. It's their AEW All Elite Wrestling Unrivaled Collection Series 3 Riho. And she is number 20. Why is it that there's been so many AEW figures released between last year and this year? And so far there's been 4 complete released sets, with a 5th being released next month and a 6th that was revealed. How come in total of all those figures there's only 3 women? Series 1 we got Brandy, Series 3 we got Riho, and Series 6 we're finally going to get Hikaru Shida. Does this make sense to anybody? I know they announced more female figures are coming in that unmatched wave, but come on, really? This is basically what Mattel did with their WWE line, whether it be Basic Elite or whatever, in their early years. At least now, Mattel finally decided to release 2 females in the Elite line with the Elite Series 85 that I reviewed. I just don't get why Jazwares is repeating Mattel's mistake. There should be always at least 1 female figure in those lines. With that being said, let's take a closer look at Riho in the packaging. AEW shiny logo, and there's Riho in the packaging with the Women's Championship. There's a pretty cute picture of Riho right there. And the letter that's on the box is a W, for those of you who want to know. On the side, she's number 20. This is Series 3. And on the back, we see Riho putting a hold on Nyla Rose. There's her signature. This was from Dynamite on October 2nd, 2019, from Washington, D.C. And here are the others you get in the line. Pac, Riho, Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. And watch Dynamite. But now, without any further delay, let's get Riho out of the packaging. And here is Riho out of the packaging. But before I take a closer look at her, let's take a closer look at all the accessories she comes with. She comes with 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. She's got 1 pair of wide open palms. She's got a pair of mic holding hands. And this pair is mismatched. One is her index finger out, like she's pointing, and the other's a fist. And lastly, she comes with the AEW Women's Championship. Now, the plates themselves are very well designed. The problem, which a lot of people have with this belt, is that it's incredibly tiny, especially the center plate. Now, I'm not saying the belt had to be the same size as the AEW Men's Championship, but couldn't they have made this the same size as the other women's belts from other promotions like WWE? I'm going to do some comparisons to other championships, and you tell me if this belt is too small. Here's a comparison between this and the AEW Men's Championship. It looks like they spent millions and millions of dollars on this, but about $50 on this. I mean, look at that. And yes, I do know they were trying to go for a homage to the yesteryear of women's belts, like this one. So here's a comparison between the AEW Women's Championship with the old WWF belt from like the 80s, early 90s. Yep, these are about the same size. Here's a comparison with the WWE from the Attitude Era women's belt with the AEW Women's Championship. Now, the Divas Championship, a customized NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, and yes, technically this is just the WWE Championship painted to look like the women's, but still. And last, the Women's Tag Team Championship. And if Hikaru Shida does not come with this, I will give this to her. But before I re-accessorize Riho, let's take a closer look at Riho. Here is her face. Now I know there's been a lot of criticism on this face scan of Riho. In the pictures I saw online, yeah, they weren't that good. In person, not that bad. Definitely could have been better. And luckily they did make that chase variant of her. But the problem is, if you want to get the better face scan, good luck finding it and paying for it. I really wish I could have gotten the chase. And I know this is going to sound perhaps a little sacrilegious, but I wanted to open it and do a head swap. I love this attire more than the one that came with the chase. And I like the chase's head better, so I would put this on this figure. And this would have been the best version of Riho. She has long brunette hair. Her attire is mostly white and pink. I'm pretty sure these are not feathers, but they look like feathers. She's got these cuffs, which are very soft, which is good because if you're going to be changing her hands, you don't want to break these. She's got this pink string wrapped around her arm. Her top is pink and white with these strings holding everything together. She has this white skirt with some pink lines on them. Now the skirt is very loose, goes up and down, which is annoying. She's wearing pink undies. She doesn't appear to have a belly button. Her knee pads are white with these pink laces on them. And she's got black soles. And she doesn't have boot rotation, which stinks. And here's the back of Riho. I'm a little confused on how to pose her, so I gave her her pointing finger back and replaced the other hand with the wide open hand. So she's kind of caressing the belt, which is around her waist. But that is it for my review of the AEW Unrivaled Collection Series 3 Riho. Tell me, what do you guys think? And besides the confirmed upcoming women's figures like Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker, which female wrestlers or on-air personalities do you hope that Jazwares makes? Like the bunny, for example. Let me know down in the comments below. But until the next review I do, I will see you soon. I feel so bad for Riho. She was the first women's champion in AEW, but had the worst reign